What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another Marvel Future Fight video. So it's time for another character rank up, and we're going to be ranking up Wasp in this one. So we have Nadia Van Dyne, and yeah, it's time to get her ranked up and take a look at her. So let's go ahead and just go use one of our mega tickets here, since we do have two of them. I don't have enough of the regular rank up tickets to get her to 6 stars because I am missing a 6-star rank up ticket. That's the only one out of them that I'm missing, so we're gonna have to go ahead and use this guy here, and boom. Alright, there we go. So we got her to 6 stars. Let's go ahead and get her mastery ranked up here. Got enough of the Nord stones that we can do this without using any tickets. Shouldn't be an issue. So let's go ahead and get this going here. So we got 3, yep, there we go, completed one of the challenges there. We got 4 and 5. So what was her mastery or her leadership? Alright, it's dodge. Huh, that's interesting. I believe she's the first character to have a dodge leadership in the blast category. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure she is the first one. Alright, so now we're going to yeah, let's go ahead and roll the ice weight set here. So let's see if we can get an attack base set for her, preferably overdrive or power the Angry Hulk. Let's see, DDE, that's interesting. Make her even more annoying to deal with in PvP situations, because she seems like she's going to be very powerful in PvP, but for me personally, I don't really play PvP too much, so I definitely like to build all my characters towards PvE content when I'm building them. Yeah, so that's why I'm going to keep rolling for a different set here. Let's see if we can't get an attack base set. Let's go, come on. Bring me the luck. Let's have this actually be a little bit quicker than my Ghost rank up, where it took me a lot of rolls to get an attack set. Alright, if we don't get it in this batch of 20 here, then I'll just go ahead and cut back to when I have her all finished up. Yeah, we didn't get it here, so I'm just going to cut back to when I get the set rolled, and I'll level her up. So let's go ahead and cut back there in a minute. Alright, and we are back. So I got Wasp leveled up here. I took a look at her skills, and it looked like 2 of them needed to be leveled up for bonuses. So the second skill here, you get an increase to your dodge rating, your all attack, all speed, and crit rate by leveling it up, which is pretty nice. And then the 5th skill here, which gives you a higher recovery rate, and also it increased the guard hits from 1 to 2, which is nice, so to help keep her alive a little bit better. And also, of course, you get the remove all debuffs, which is really nice. So I definitely really like this 5th skill here, because it removes debuffs, it gives her a heal, and then it's got a refreshing guard on it, which is quite nice. Her passive right here, if we take a look real quick, it says that when attacking a miniaturized enemy, or an enemy that's affected by the miniaturized effect, you get a 10% increase to all attack, and it does say it applies to all allies. So I'm very curious how that works, because it is on her passive here, so I guess that means if you have other characters in your team that can miniaturize the enemy, like Ant-Man, that he should get this all attack increased when he is attacking them after miniaturizing them, if you have Wasp in your party. At least that's what I'm assuming by this, because it does say to all allies, so I'm assuming this effect of the miniaturization applies to any character in your team that can miniaturize, or if you have to miniaturize them with Wasp here and then switch over to the other character and attack them to get this boost, or if she has to have this boost triggered and then you can switch over to your ally and then you get the all attack boost, which only lasts for 3 seconds and it's on a 1-second cooldown. So it would make more sense if it just applies to all allies. So if your allies and the other characters in your team can use the miniaturize, then boom, they will get this passive effect as well, which seems pretty cool actually. And then it is amplified by her tier 2 here, which is also quite nice. But what's cool about her tier 2 is she has a damage proc kind of effect on her tier 2 here. So when she uses the PIM disc, she gets a 180 proc and also gets a 25% increase guaranteed dodge, which is also very nice. So I'm quite interested to see how this works with kind of existing obelisks and stuff like that. So I'm quite excited to get her to tier 2. So I'm definitely going to be working on her first to tier 2 to kind of see how that tier 2 plays out. And then we have the Isolate set here. We finally rolled Power the Angry Hulk. as you can see from my gold, it did take quite a hit. I think it took me over 1,000 rolls to get this, so quite annoying. Between her and Ghost, I've spent about 35 million gold getting them ranked up, or maybe even 40. So yeah, definitely a little expensive here on these stupid isolate sets. And then for the obelisk, I'm just kind of trying this one out, so I don't know if I'm necessarily going to keep this one on here, especially since it is only a 100% damage proc. But anyway, we've got ignore defense, recovery rate, because I did like having that recovery option to help boost the heal on her 5th skill, so it should be quite nice. And then we have the 100% damage proc, and I'm going to leave this on at least until I get her to tier 2, because I want to see if you can kind of get like a dual damage proc effect on her. If you can use your obelisk proc, and then you can use the 3rd skill to trigger her tier 2 damage proc and use that on the 5th skill, and then you can kind of get like a damage proc on the 4th and 5th skill or something like that in one rotation, which would be pretty cool. So I'm curious to see how that plays out. And also, by her skills, I don't think she necessarily needs immune to guard break, so that's why I didn't put a immune to guard break with a damage proc on here. I went with this obelisk instead, because she does have a good amount of iframes, but some of them are partial iframes, so there is a chance that she can get knocked out of them. So guard break would be an okay option on her, but I don't think it's necessarily like mandatory to make the character playable in like world boss and stuff like that. I think you can still do quite well without the immune to guard break. It'll just be a nice little bonus if you happen to have it with the other 2 effects that you may want for her. So kind of keep that in mind when you're trying to pick out an obelisk for her. So now let's go ahead and take a look at her stats here. So here are her stats with the activated isolate set and the obelisk. So now that we've kind of got her ready to go and ready to try out, let's go ahead and test her a little bit. So yeah, let's jump into some gameplay. Alright, so here we are at floor 1 for Shadowland. I haven't started Shadowland yet, so we're just going to go ahead and use her on floor 1 here. We just have her own leadership for the dodge increase, so let's go ahead and hop in here and just... Oh, I still have this pop-up going on, come on. After every updates, it seems to reset the dialogue options for some of the game modes, and apparently I had to do that more than one time, because as you may have remembered, it did pop up when I did my ghost testing as well. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump in here. Alright, so shrink them down, hop into our 5th skill here. Then let's see what that heal is going to do. Oh, not too bad. What was that, 1700 or something like that? And I really like her skill animations. Her skill animations look quite nice. And she does have that boost to her all attack and crit rate and stuff like that on her 2nd skill, so you do kind of want to prioritize that skill, and it is an iframe, so it's easy to get into your rotation with that skill. Alright, so yeah, it looks like she can clear this quite quickly on her own, so definitely seems like she has a lot more damage output than Ghost. From what I'm seeing so far, because we don't have a leadership on her in terms of damage, and we do just have the 100% proc, which I did have. I think it was a 100% proc on Ghost as well, maybe it was a 120, but either way, definitely seems like Wasp is doing more damage so far. So now let's go ahead and jump into World Boss and try her out there. Alright, so here we are at Thanos, and we're going to go ahead and take her in against him, because again, she is tier 1, so we're not really going to be able to do too well against any of the World Boss Ultimate stages. We have this team here. We have She-Hulk's leadership, a 55% increase, so she's going to have a similar damage boost now in terms of leadership as Ghost did when I did this stage with Ghost, so that'll be kind of a nice comparison there. And then we have Wasp for the team up, and we get some dodge and crit damage, and then energy attack and recovery rate. So let's go ahead and hop in here without any strikers, so we can see what kind of damage Nadia is going to be doing on her own without any of these strikers interfering. Alright, let's go ahead and switch over, get our buff up, and then we'll go ahead and hop in here. Okay, now it was 1100 heal. I think when I was doing the Shadowland stage, I said it was a 1700, but that looked like 1100 to me. Alright, we're already doing a face change here, so it definitely seems like, yeah, a lot more damage than Ghost. Get our shield up, alright. Yeah, so the end of the fourth skill, she's not really protected there when she's shooting those blasts because she's not in iframe. And of course she's hopping in and out in iframe on the fourth skill as well, so that's one of the skills that would probably benefit from having the immune to guard break. But overall, from the fight here, I don't necessarily think she needs the immune to guard break still, because she's not really getting cancelled out of her skills very often, if at all. But that's of course playing manually. If you're going to be using her in PvP, then you're probably going to want the immune to guard break, because it will make quite a big difference. Oh. I didn't pause in time. Didn't realize I was going to finish the raid there. That is not good, because that's one less World Boss Ultimate clear for me today. Oh well, doesn't really matter that much. Anyway, yeah, so she did clear that quite quickly with no strikers. A big contrast to Ghost there, who actually timed out. We did not have enough time when using Ghost to clear the stage, and Ghost's own leadership is a 50%, so it's pretty similar leadership and damage boost that they're getting between the two characters. So Wasp definitely looks like she's going to be the damage dealer of the two characters in terms of the two new paywalls. So yeah, and she's looking really cool too. I like all of her animations, so Wasp definitely seems like a very solid character, or should I say Nadia, since we already have a Wasp in the game, so now we have two Wasps. As you can see from the screen there, we did use both of them in this fight to get that team-up bonus. But anyway, that's just going to be my kind of first impressions of Wasp here. So overall, I do like her, and I think that she's probably going to be worth the bio sub to pick her up and get her to tier 2. But that's just how I feel about her so far. We'll go ahead and see if that changes when I get her to tier 2, if I like her more or less, or after I've had more time to play around with her. But that's going to be it for this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.